This film begins with the Jews' narration, which said that first on earth were the gods and demons, but my son Perseus, who was half human and half god, killed Kraken and saved humanity. That's why I gave Perseus a chance to rule with me, but he decided to live life like a normal human. Even when his wife died, he didn't ask me or other gods for help. But now the time of gods is coming to an end, so my son Perseus can't turn away from his responsibilities. After this, we see Perseus, who is a fisherman, and he also has a son. He doesn't want to make his son a warrior. Instead, he wants to make a fisherman like himself. After this, Jews come to meet Perseus at night. They tell him that humans stopped worshipping the gods, because of which the powers of the gods are decreasing, and because of this, the things that we gods had made are also getting destroyed. And then here comes a slight earthquake. By seeing this, the Persian understands that the walls of the Tartarus are getting weak. Zeus says that yes, if the walls of the Tartarus fall once, then all the demons there will come out, and some have already come out. And if the powers of the gods are getting less, then they will start dying. If this happens, my father Kronos will come out and end the whole world. That's why Zeus tells Perseus that he needs your help, because you are half god and you can find a solution to this problem with the other gods. But Perseus says that you should leave from here, and Zeus goes from there. After this, Poseidon, Zeus and Zeus's son Ares, they all go to meet Hades, and Zeus says that we want to make the fortress walls again and strengthen them so that no one leaves there, but Hades refuses to believe them. But the Eddies, who Zeus sent from the sky to the underworld, he attacks them. Poseidon gets injured in this while Ares attacks his father, Zeus. He captures them, which makes us understand that he is connected with the Eddies. And because the Tartarus wall is weak, many demons started to come out and start a war. And one of these demons, whose two faces he takes out of his mouth and starts destroying the village of Persia. But here Perseus arrives and he faces him with great courage and kills that demon. But he was very hurt in this fight. Now after this, he gets his treatment from a woman in his village. That woman tells him that you are Adi Devta. You should stop all this. But Perseus tells that woman that I had promised my wife that I would not let my son pick up the sword. That woman says that all this is useful in that situation, when the situation is normal, but now the situation is not the same. So Perseus takes his son and goes to the temple of Zeus to talk to him. But there was no one there, and even after praying a lot, Zeus does not come there. But Poseidon reaches here. Poseidon was very wounded here. He tells Perseus that your father Zeus has been arrested by Hades, and so you have to do something now. Perseus tells him that I am not a god completely. Poseidon says that you go and meet my son Agnor, because he is also half god. He is imprisoned by Queen Andromeda. You go to Hephaestus with his help. In fact, Hephaestus was the one who made the map of Tartarus. After this, Poseidon gives his trident to Perseus and says, if my son Agnor is worthy of it, then give it to him, after which Poseidon's life is lost. After this, Perseus sits on his flying horse and goes to Queen Andromeda. But the soldiers of Andromeda see him flying in the air, think him as an enemy and shoot arrows at him. That's why Queen Andromeda comes and stops them. And when they find out that he is Perseus, all the soldiers bow down before him. After this, Perseus meets Agnor with Andromeda, after which Perseus tells him that I am the son of Zeus, and I am half human and half god like you. And Perseus tells him that your father is dead, where he says that the gods never die. But Perseus reminds him that the gods are also dying. Agnor says that if Queen Andromeda promises to give me as much gold as the city's gold, I can help you. And that's why Queen Andromeda promises to give him gold. After this, these two, Queen Andromeda and her soldiers, set out to go to the top where Hephaestus used to live. On the way, Andromeda asks Perseus who is Hephaestus, where Perseus says that he is also a god, and he made the weapons of Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades. And if these three weapons are combined, then it will become such a destructive weapon that can kill Kronos. On the other hand, Agnor, with the help of which his father gave his trident, with the help of that trident, he brings everyone to the top of Hephaestus. But there are many traps on this top, from which Agnor gets trapped in one of them, after which someone starts pulling that trap towards them. Seeing this, Perseus starts running after him, but then a big cyclops comes in front of him. That's why the soldiers of Andromeda start attacking him with arrows, but they have no effect on him. But Perseus somehow drops him down and climbs on him. Now here, more Cyclops reach, who see Perseus and take out the trishul of Poseidon. He gives him the trident, and all the Cyclops give him a knee jerk. After that, he takes all of them with the eggnog to Hephaestus. When Hephaestus finds out that Poseidon is dead and Zeus is in the captivity of Hades, he says that the end of the world is near, on which Perseus tells him that you have made such powerful weapons, and now you can help us, in which Hephaestus says that once I helped Hades, but in return your father Zeus took my powers. And now I have become just an ordinary human being. Andromeda says to him that you can help us even though you are a human. Hepatitis looks like Andromeda's eyes are like her wife's, and now they are ready to help them. They say that if Hades has imprisoned Zeus in the underworld, then he must have imprisoned Zeus in the middle of Tartarus, where the Kronos must be sucking his powers. But they say that I had made a secret path to go to Tartarus, through which we can reach Zeus. On the other side, we see Zeus, who was really in the middle of the Tartarus walls, and on the other side, now all of them had reached the Tartarus walls, and suddenly Ares comes and attacks them, which kills the friends of Andromeda. And he was also getting heavy on Perseus, but in the meantime, Hephaestus opens that secret door which led to the death of all the creatures, after which Agnes, Perseus, and Andromeda enter through this door. But at last, Ares Hephaestus becomes his prey. Now, after entering, these three are moving ahead with the help of a map, and when they enter, the Tartarus walls are changing their place in a short time. That's why they all move ahead with great caution, because any small mistake could have killed them. On the other hand, Zeus asks Hades if he can forgive him for sending him to the dark realm. Zeus says that he has tied me in the chains of fire, but still he is forgiving him. Hearing this, Hades becomes a little soft for Zeus. But at the same time, Ares sees them talking like this and he gets angry with Hades, after which he is about to kill Hades with the weapon of Zeus, that Zeus stops his weapon from his powers, because of which he can't kill Hades, and now Hades gets a chance to handle him. He starts fighting with Ares, because of which they both start falling towards a fire-mongered man. In the same time, Perseus also reaches here, and he frees Zeus, but by then Kronos had taken a lot of the powers of Zeus, because of which Zeus had become very old. Well, now Perseus takes Zeus and leaves from here, and then Ares comes in front of him again. Hades also comes from behind and stops Zeus from doing anything. After that, the fight starts again. In the meantime, Perseus is going out with Zeus. In the meantime, Ares attacks Zeus with Poseidon's trident, which hurts Zeus a lot. But before Ares could do anything else, Zeus takes Hades' weapon from Perseus and connects him with Poseidon's trident. With a bright light, they disappear from there and teleport to the kingdom of Queen Andromeda. But Zeus was weak enough who asked Perseus to join forces with the three weapons and fight Kronos. But Perseus had only two weapons because Zeus had the weapon of Ares. So he used teleport power to challenge his brother Ares. And now Ares reaches the place told by Perseus. But he has a son of Perseus on whom Perseus asks him to keep him away from this fight. Alice says that she will not do anything to him, but will kill his father in front of him, after which there is a very terrible fight between the two. On the other hand, Kronos was free from the walls of the Tartarus. Now many demons had come out to earth. They were creating a lot of terror, and Queen Andromeda and her soldiers were facing these demons. On the other hand, we see Zeus, who was in a state of unconsciousness. Then he has a head ish and says in his ear that I have forgiven you. He holds his hand, which gives him back his powers, and he was young. Now these two also come out and start facing those demons. The Kronos have caused destruction everywhere, and they try to stop him, but he was not that powerful. They didn't even have weapons, so they couldn't stop him, and all their powers are gone, while on the other side, Perseus and Ares fight and kill him, and then he makes a great weapon out of all three, and now he sits on his flying horse and starts going towards Kronos. Kronos tries to kill Perseus, but Perseus somehow gets inside his mouth and puts that weapon inside his body, which causes a very terrible explosion, which kills Kronos, and Perseus comes out of his body safely. And when he comes out, he meets Hades, who tells him that your father is waiting for you. And now they have very little time left. In fact, all their powers were taken by Kronos. And some of those powers were given to them by Hades, whose effect was now about to end. That is, now Zeus could die anytime, so that this is why Perseus immediately meets his father, where he tells him that Hades can help you. Zeus says that he has already done it. And now the kingdom of the gods is over. Now no one will have to sacrifice. Zeus tells his son that, thank you, my son. And after that, he flies away like dust. After this, Hades tells Perseus that all his powers are over. What if I become more powerful without him? He goes away saying this. After this, Perseus goes to Queen Andromeda. Actually, Queen Andromeda loves Perseus. Perseus also loves her. They kiss each other here. Now, finally, Perseus's son tells Perseus that, let's go home, we have to catch all those fishes. But Perseus tells him that, son, we can't go home now, and he gives him a sword. When Perseus's son grabs the sword, it's very heavy. His son says that he is very heavy. Perseus says that you are Helios, son of Perseus, and grandson of Mahanjus. Will you be able to handle his weight? Helios raises the sword and says yes. And with this movie ends here, friends. If you like the video, then like the video, and if you are new to the channel, then subscribe the channel. See you in our next video.